Welcome back to week 3 of Saving in Silver, everybody. I'm the Florida Stacker. And in this video series, we're going to make $5 to $7 in face value purchases of old constitutional circulated silver coins. I got some new silver here to show you, including a nice Kennedy. So stay tuned. Let's get to it. All right, welcome back, everybody. So I have all the silver laid out in front of you. This is 90% silver. It is made up of a little bit of copper as well in the old constitutional circulated U.S. coinage that you see in front of you today. Now, I bought $5 in face value, and face value just being the currency denomination of the silver coins altogether from Aiden Coins up in Ramsey, New Jersey. They've been sending me some real nice stuff, and this series kind of matriculated out of nothing. Really, I was just kind of browsing the internet looking to purchase some silver, stumbled across their shop, made a purchase, and they sent me a nice variety of constitutional silver. So I decided to reach out to them, tell them that I was interested in buying more, and they continue to impress me with the selection of coins that they send. And they even sent a really nice Kennedy, which we'll show you here in a minute. And prior to that, a pretty nice proof Benjamin Franklin. So the guys up there have been real good to me. I'll continue to do business with them. If you're interested in looking at Aiden Coins, shopping, they sell silver, gold, platinum, all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty big coin shop up there in northern New Jersey. There will be a link to them in the video description section. Now, full disclosure, I am not paid by Aiden Coins. We have not actually even talked on the phone, not even once. Like I said, just did business with them, mentioned that I'm running this series on my YouTube channel, and they continue to scratch my back, so I'll continue to scratch theirs, and that's how friendship works. So I've got $5 in face value here, and all the tubes that you see behind you of what we've been working so far for 2021 when it comes to constitutional silver. So let's orient you to the calculator. I'm going to go ahead and move that calculator in front of you now. So looking at the calculator here, I've kept track of all of the constitutional silver that we've put together for this series. We're currently sitting at a face value, looking at the bottom line down there, of $61.70 in face value. I did pick up another $1 in face since our last video. This is week 3. Welcome to week 3. So if you're first time here, you haven't missed a whole lot, but feel free to catch up. I will have those links in the video description section as well to week 1 and week 2 of this series, so you can be all caught up. Now, I'm looking at a spot price today. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and verify that. Yep, $26.32. So our calculation last week used a spot price of $26.26. So just a modest increase there in spot price valuation. Now, you got to remember, everybody, that we are dealing in constitutional 90% silver here. So I didn't include any premiums because I want you to know that the best value that you could expect to get back from the sale of these coins is melt value. Now, there is a strong chance in today's environment that you're going to get more than that back. That additional payment over the melt value of silver is known as a premium. And premiums are something that stackers, well, at least stackers that are trying to maximize the purchasing power of their fiat currency and turn that into real money, gold and silver, we're always trying to get around them, okay? Premiums are the enemy. So I'm not going to include that here because premiums vary from coin to coin, from shop to shop. So for the calculation purposes, we're going to go with the worst case scenario on the value of these coins. Now, some of these coins may be, from limited years. They may have special mint marks on them. I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to try to stay away from the collector side of things with this series and focus mostly on stacking weight in silver to build an actual physical, tangible savings account, something that you can do quite easily by picking up a few tubes and making routine purchases on a budget. In short order, you can have weight in silver, and that is value that you can hold or you can use for future investments or potentially to fund something important to your life or lifestyle. So plenty of reasons to stack silver. Let's get to this week's purchase. So as you can see, the guys sent me a variety of coins, and we'll go ahead and start out with the really nice. This is real nice. We're going to grab the coin here by the edge. This is a 1993 90% silver John F. Kennedy half dollar. Let's go ahead and get a good view of this coin. So this is going above and beyond, guys, okay? When I ordered $5 in face value, they actually sent me $4.50 in circulated coinage this week. and this is the missing 50 cents here, this nice proof Kennedy $50. Now, I haven't touched the face of the coin, just the edges here, so any of the imperfections or smudges you see existed before this coin came to be in my possession. And I was really curious what this thing was actually worth. Wasn't quite sure. It's got to be worth more than its melt value. So I did a quick Google search, and let's start out looking at US Coin Book. So US Coin Book shows this coin to be valued around 38 US dollars. Let's go ahead and zoom back out to get a better view here of all of these coins. So US Coin Book, USA Coin Book, that is, values that Kennedy $50 at $38, a mintage of 761,000, and it was minted at the San Francisco Mint. Looking at Coin Trackers, a different website, the 1993 Kennedy $50 San Francisco also comes with a slightly different mintage. The mintage here, 761,000. Silver content, once more, 90%. The total silver weight is 0.3617 troy ounces. The current melt value is $9.49. However, it states here that this coin could bring as much as 32 US dollars at auction. So we had 38 and 32. Lastly, we'll go to PCGS. PCGS currently says that this coin, once more, 90% silver, 10% copper, 761,000 minted. And let's see if they have an average price here. And it looks like the going prices of late have ranged as high as $66 to as low as $26 on eBay auctions. And the highest recorded auction, actually a PR70 version of this coin, sold May 27th, 2003 for $528. So clearly that is more of a collector coin than an average circulated constitutional silver coin like the bulk of the coins that we're stacking here. Hey, to the guys at 8 Coins, thanks for sending that to me. That was really above and beyond. You really didn't need to do that, but I do appreciate it. And hopefully here the viewers also appreciate the beauty of this really nice John F. Kennedy $50. Let's go ahead and show it again. Very nice. And we'll go ahead and show you the Franklin one more time that they sent a couple weeks back. Go ahead and do that before we move on to the bulk of the coins here today. So here's that Franklin. And I don't have all of the mintage numbers up on this particular coin, so I can't provide that to you. But if you're interested in it, I will look it up, and I can respond to any comments if you have a specific comment regarding the mintage numbers or potential value of the proof 1962 Kennedy $50. Once more, I'm not interested in selling any of these coins, but it is kind of a curious thing to know what they are going for on the popular auction websites. All right, so let's get into it. So we have a bunch of tubes here, all right? We got tubes of $50. So these are the Barber $50. We've got 3 of these so far. And to speed this video up, because it does get lengthy, I won't go through every single coin that we've gotten the last couple of weeks doing this video series, so please do catch up. Those videos will be in the video description section. But it looks like we did receive another beautiful 1907 Barber $50. So that's going to be the 4th of these Barbers we've gotten in this series, and the 3rd with the 1907 date. Once more, this coin does contain 90% silver with a 10% copper mixture. In God we trust. This is a really nice historical $50, so we'll go ahead and add that to the tube. And then we'll get on to our Walking Liberty $50. These are quite potentially my favorite. It just reminds me of a very patriotic time in our country during the, just post Great Depression, getting into the years leading up to World War II. What a difficult time for our country. Think of how hard it was for us to be fighting 2 major enemies on both sides of our North American continent. So many men and women, their lives changed forever, many for the worse and many for the positive, going post-World War II. So there we go. We are getting a little bit more of these. We're going to be probably completing the tube of the Walking Liberty $50, quickest of the 4 different 90% versions in the half-dollar variety. Then we move to the Kennedy. This is in 1948. So once more, 1948, that is the first year that this Kennedy half-dollar was produced. So always nice to get a first year coin. Of course, the Liberty Bell out of Philadelphia with its historic crack. Part of the reason that this is referred to as constitutional silver are the wonderful images displayed on the coin tracking our American history. All right, so let's go ahead and grab the Franklins. Those are starting to add up. And we didn't get a normal circulated Kennedy half-dollar during this order because, well, you saw that nice proof 1993. We're going to go ahead and actually find a capsule for both of those coins. I did have the Franklin in a capsule, but it was a little bit of a tight fit. I didn't really like it. So we'll get the actual capsules and we'll just keep those coins aside. All right, so let's move to the quarters. And we're already 10 and a half minutes into this video, so these do get long. So these are the Washington quarters. And these are going to be the most common. You're also going to get a little bit more silver content with the newer Washington quarters and Roosevelt dimes. Let's go ahead and look at the four that we got here. So this is $1 in face value. And for those that are wondering, I did pay in the high $22 range for $5 in face. Per dollar in face, that is, just to clarify. Yeah, I definitely spent more than $100 on this purchase. So each $1 in face value was in the high $22, near $23 range. And of course, that does change as the spot price for silver changes. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is our second tube of Washington quarters. Let's go ahead and grab this bad boy. We already filled this bad boy. So there are 90% silver quarters in here, Washington quarters in this tube for $10 in face. This one actually has just 3 short of 40 more. So we're going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3. And now this tube is full and we'll set that quarter aside and we'll start a new tube going into week 4 of this series. So now 2 tubes. Let's go ahead and grab a cap. You can see you can get these guard house tubes. They actually have the denomination written on top, quarters, dimes, half dollars, etc. Don't have any war nickels at this time, so if you're here for war nickels, I hate to disappoint, but we're not going to stack the 35% silver until we get a lot more of this 90% silver. Obviously, you get more silver for the coin's volume going with 90%. Okay, so let's move to some older quarters here. We got a couple of nice Barber quarters. Let's take a look at the dates. All right, so we've got a 1916 to the left and a 1915 to the right. Let's get a better view of both of these. Once more, the older coins are going to have more circulation, a little bit more silver loss. However, most dealers, and I don't want to speculate about the future. I try to live in the present. So I do see those comments about how in the future we'll be weighing our silver. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a fearmongerer. I am just a stacker. I'm trying to save wealth in silver. All right, that's my philosophy. And I welcome your philosophy, but that's mine. So long as my dealers are continuing to buy and sell 90% circulated silver coins at face value and not at weight, that's the way that I'm going to track it. And that's the way I'm going to continue to stack it. So there we go. We got 2 more. And we're starting to build a little bit of a tube here of these Barber quarters, really interesting quarters from the turn of the 20th century. A little bit before that, those quarters actually began being minted in the 1800s. As a matter of fact, let's get the specific dates here real quick. Yeah, so for those Barber quarters, 1892 to 1916. So let's get to 1916 and onward with the standing Liberty quarters. It looks like both of these are dateless, and that is very common with the SLQs or standing Liberty quarters. Pretty good wear on these quarters. About half the ones I have are missing dates at this time, and the other half do have dates. Just something I've noticed to be a little bit more prevalent with the SLQs in the circulated form, that is, that they don't actually have dates. So we've got about half a tube now of SLQ, so making good progress there. Now, something that you've probably noticed looking at the coins laid out in front of you right here is there are no Roosevelt dimes. They didn't send any Roosevelt dimes this week, but we did get 5 Barber dimes. and 5 mercury dimes. So let's grab, here's our rosy tube that we're working. We'll just go ahead and set that aside. And here are the current mercury dimes. Here's the mercury dimes. Don't you love that sound? I do. All right, so let's show you what we got here. So these are the mercs. So we do have more to add. Let's go ahead and grab and take a look. Looks like, see, circulated silver. Okay to drop. Pretty small coins to handle, as you know. I'm having a hard time there. 1936. Mercury dime. Looks like a 1940. $1941. 1943, and lastly, 1937. All right. So now let's get to the older dimes. So these are the Barber dimes. And Barber dimes were minted same as the quarters in 1892 to 1916. You had a 1912. 1901. Looks like a 1914. Beginning of World War I. Another 1914. Speaking of a whole generation's life being changed by a global conflict. And there we go, in 1892. 1892, so the first year. That was the first year for this dime. These guys really do send some good dates. So let's go ahead and zoom back out. And there you go. So this is all the constitutional silver. I did mix in a little from the past here that we picked up this week, other than what I placed in the tubes. So let's go ahead and update the calculator and close out this week's video. And once more, we'll be back next week. And remember, guys, all it takes is setting a budget, staying dedicated to it, and obviously maintaining that enthusiasm. If you lose enthusiasm for silver, you'll start to dislike silver. But if you keep that enthusiasm, you keep it interesting by setting what I call micro goals, right? A lot of people like to talk about 10 yards. I don't even want you to think about 10 yards when it comes to a football analogy. That's too far out for me. I want you to think about getting 3.5 yards per play. If you get 3.5 yards in the first 3 downs, well, you don't have to worry about that 4th down. You'll keep driving the football. So aim for 3.5 yards every single play. Trust me, it starts to add up. I'm going to make a video talking about the fact that it's really not the size of the stack that's so important. It's the discipline. It's what you learn from the journey that is probably the most important thing, because if you're able to apply it to stacking, you should be able to apply patience, dedication, and obviously the commitment to see yourself through your goals in the other aspects of your life. And I think that is incredibly important if you want to succeed. So let's get to the calculator. All right, so here's the calculator with the updated totals. I did add $4.50 in face value, so you can see how that all spread out. I didn't include that 50-cent 1993 JFK. We're going to keep that outside of this video series. So as it sits, we have $66.20 in face value for a melt value with today's closing spot price of $26.36. That melt value is $1,250.09. The total weight in troy ounces, this is estimated, of course, because these are circulated silver coins, but the approximate weight is 47.49 troy ounces of silver. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to continue to do this through the years, and let's see exactly how much weight and value we can save in silver. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you being here, and we'll see you soon in next week's stacking video.